My dear friends, we gather in the growing twilight of this most sacred night, in the quiet of this cathedral, to join the Lord in the upper room. On this, the day the Lord gave to them, and through them to us, the great gift of his body and blood, soul and divinity, which is the gift of the Eucharist. He gathered on Passover night, a meal known very well to all of the apostles, the great commemoration of the liberation of the Jewish people from the grip of Pharaoh, how they were passed over by the angel of death and set free to become God's chosen people on their own land. Jesus took that meal and allowed it to become our Passover from death to life in him. For each time we gather in the Eucharist in an unbloody way, you and I participate in the great mystery we will commemorate tomorrow, when the Lord freely allowed himself to be crucified and to die as an offering on our behalf, to set you and I and all people who are willing to turn to him with an open heart, to set us free from our sins and what enslaves us, and to grant us a taste of the liberation that will be ours in the glory of heaven. It is on this night, to these men, that he allows them a foretaste of that great promise. It is in preparation, therefore, for this night that we understand what the Lord meant when he called his apostles his friends. For this is the festival of divine friendship for all of us. You see, we live in a world where friendship has been trivialized, made an equal to acquaintance or someone with whom we may have a liking or just pass time together or socialize with. But the ancient understanding of friendship is far deeper than that. Jesus helps us to understand what that is this night. For a contemporary author once defined friendship this way: a friend is someone who can see you at your ugliest and still chooses to love you. We must not forget that Jesus already knew that the men with whom he would share this great gift would run for fear of their own lives, and Peter himself would betray him to his face 3 times. He knew how ugly their behavior would be, and yet he loved them to the end, for he allowed them a share of this great divine gift. And consider, even Judas, before he departed from the upper room, was offered even a morsel, which he did not take. You and I are offered more than a morsel. We are offered the very life of Christ. And so, my friends, I ask you, each night on this sacred night, we celebrate what we call the mandatum, the washing of the feet. Unfortunately, for this year, we cannot celebrate it. But perhaps this year, above all others, we understand its true meaning. For as Jesus offered friendship to us, his divine friendship, so too we must offer friendship to one another in his divine name. He took on the task of a servant to wash the feet of his apostles, to show them that he would love them to the end. He would prove it the next day. I ask you, as we look into the faces in our mind's eye of the people we love, the people we call our friends, what is it that we will not do for them? What is it that we would not sacrifice for them? Would we even wash their feet? For we come to receive the Eucharist so that Christ's love can allow us to be a true Christian friend for all those around us, even those who need their feet washed. And I know, my friends, that all of us in our own respective homes cannot spend time in these holy days with our families and our friends. And it is a great pain. It is a great loss. But imagine the joy we're going to have when we are in each other's embrace again. When we can lift our minds and our hearts and our glasses in celebration with our family of friends again. It will be just a small foretaste of what the promise of the Eucharist holds when we will be in celebration and love and life for all eternity, all of us, with Christ at the head of the table. So I ask you, my friends, even if this is a moment of sadness, for we cannot be together physically, let us celebrate the gift of the friendship Christ has offered to us in his body and blood, soul and divinity, and let us, you and I together, be resolved to never take our loved ones and friends for granted ever again, but to live the mystery of this night by loving them, willing their good, caring for them to the end, even to wash their feet.